And welcome to the Glass Onion review. That's right, we are taking a look at, of course, the movie Glass Onion that was written and directed by Rian Johnson, who has also done the movie Knives Out. And by the way, this is a sequel to Knives Out. So let's go ahead and talk about a murder mystery.
Hello there, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and children.
As I stated before, this is a sequel to Knives Out, written and directed by Rian Johnson. Now, we do have a returning character such as Daniel Craig's Benoit Blanc. You do have new characters such as Edward Norton's Miles, Kate Hudson's Birdie, Dave Bautista's Duke, Janelle Monáe as Andy, Catherine Hahn's Claire, Leslie Odom Jr. playing Lionel, Jessica Henwick as Peg. You will know her who played in Iron Fist, Madeline Klein as Whiskey, Noah Segan as Daryl. You do have Hugh Grant who plays the character Philip, who is either the husband or boyfriend of Mr. Blanc. Then, of course, you do have a little bit of cameos here, such as Ethan Hawke, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Serena Williams, and Natasha Lyonne. Now, as far as the story goes, in my opinion, Knives Out is better, only because of the fact that this movie does start off intriguing. This movie does kind of set up that murder mystery that we know from Knives Out and similar to ones as Death in the Nile or Murder on Orient Express. However, what this movie does is it lacks in the end, where Knives Out just kind of builds and builds and builds and builds until the very end. And that's kind of what this movie, again, lacks on, is that build up to everything. I will say that closer to the end of Knives Out, it does kind of set you up for the fact that you may be right or, of course, obvious person. And this one is very similar. You can kind of guess who did it in the very beginning, and you will be right by the end of it. Which is kind of, it's disappointing because always want to go for someone that you're not really, expecting. However, for some reason, Rian Johnson, as far as his murder mystery goes, gives who you actually expect. And that's where I'm a little disappointed in it, is because I would rather have someone that I don't know. Very similar to, of course, a recent movie that came out, or TV series such as Wednesday, where they made the boyfriend the killer. Same thing. It's very expected and cliche in terms of thinking of who it is and it actually being who you thought it was. I will say there was a little slight difference in the story that I did catch me off guard, but it gets introduced in the middle of the film, which, kind of threw out my expectations, but really overall, I was right the whole entire time. When it comes to the fun value in it, this film is somewhat fun. And you do see Daniel Craig's character, Mr. Blanc, have a little bit more humor in the overall storytelling. He does have a lot of funny moments to it. Same thing with some of the other characters. Dave Bautista is very interesting in this film as well, to say the least. I didn't think I would see as much of him than I did in this film, but still, overall, the film was pretty decent. As far as music goes, it's still the typical music trope same thing that you see in Knives Out or you hear in Murder, She Wrote. As far as cinematography goes, there's not much of cinematography that is appealing to this. I mean, nothing that stands out other than, like, the average and what seems kind of average to it. As far as the character developments, you don't really get a lot of character development other than the fact that everybody other than Mr. Blanc, and I'm not going to ruin who it is, but the sister that you find out who is the sister, other than them two, everyone is basically awful. Though I will say the groundskeeper, though, he's really funny in this. And to be honest, he'll throw you off, as I thought he was the one to do it. But, I guess I'll spoil that portion as he's not. He was a fun little additive that, didn't really take away from the flick. But overall, it was okay. It's nothing to really go to a theater, unlike Knives Out was. This is something that you can easily watch on Netflix, and it's geared more towards Netflix. Now, I do know that there is a third film coming out within the Knives Out franchise, a little side story as well, which maybe it'll be good. I'm kind of interested in the story and progression of what Rian Johnson does, As far as Rian Johnson films goes, I'm glad that he's not doing another Star Wars film that's within canon of the first 9 ones, because I'm not a fan of the Last Jedi. However, I did like Looper. I did like Knives Out. And I will say this is quite enjoyable too. But what did you guys think? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Was there something that you didn't like about it? Did you guys get the actual character right on who actually, did what they did? Leave your comments below. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and follow us on all social platforms.